All right, y'all, what's going on? It's Combo Breaker 99. I'm back with another video. All right, y'all, got some interesting news here. As y'all know, we've been talking about this over the past few days, and I thought I done talked it up. I thought I done talked up some bad news for Sabina Mazo. As y'all know, yesterday it was reported that Sabina Mazo was cut from the UFC. You know, everybody thought that she was going to be cut from the UFC due to her third loss in a row to Miranda Maverick this past weekend. But it looks like Sabina Mazo has been re-signed. I mean, shout out to Marcus Bell and BJ from No Filter MMA. You know, they had posted this news up, sent it to me. And yeah, I just wanted to come through and give you my thoughts on it, because now I'm like, wow. You know, I'm really like, wow, because, you know, it seems like a situation where, you know, Sabina Mazo was actually, to me, going to be in a better place if they did cut her, you know what I mean, which I'll get into here in a minute. But yeah, it just shows here that the news that they sent me, I'll go ahead and show you the picture here. It shows you that, hey, she was re-signed back to the roster. You know, she's added back to the UFC roster now. You know, I don't know what the whole situation was, what type of hiccups were in there. Like, I don't even know if she was cut to begin with. You know, maybe it just got reported before it was finalized, or maybe her contract was just up and she was in the middle of negotiations and the media went on and ran with it. You know, that could have been a situation too, right? Like, maybe Miranda Maverick was her last fight on her contract anyways, you know, so they probably were going to renegotiate and re-sign her anyway, but that word probably just didn't get out. Or, you know, maybe it was just like last minute and they said, okay, you know, we'll go ahead and, you know, sign you for maybe like another two, three fight contract, right? But my thoughts on the whole situation, like I talked about over the past few days, even before it was reported that she was cut, I was like, you know, this will probably be a good thing if she did get cut at this point, you know, which yesterday when they did cut her, I was like, okay, that's good, you know, because I feel like, you know, Sabina Mazo is in a position where, you know, she needs to grow as a fighter, you know, and I think that a lot of people can agree with me on that Sabina Mazo, you know, she did have a nice little momentum or a nice little run going for even back in LFA. You know, she did score some nice head kick knockouts, but, you know, since then, you know, she just kind of been losing that momentum. I mean, I'm looking at an article right here that is released, 2 hours ago, and it said she was released from the UFC, right? So this one says Mazo did not come out directly and confirm the release. A post on her IG gives the impression that she's no longer with the promotion. Okay, so an IG post gives the impression that she's no longer with the promotion. So if you look deeper into it, it never really said that she was cut, because this is what she said. It's been a roller coaster week. I'm proud and happy of the work I put in fight camp, fight week, and a little sad of my performance. Can't deny my heart is broken, but I will come back stronger, better and smarter. I am focused now on working, improving, and moving on. The champions here showed me the definition of champions and of family. I am honored to share this time with them. Again, thank you all. Okay, so no, like, that didn't really give the impression that she was cut. So, you know, myself, like, I didn't really delve into it. That's why I didn't drop the video until I seen, you know, two more situations here. So as I'm talking with y'all, I'm actually kind of researching along right here. That's why I'm just kind of doing this discussion video on the fly here, because, you know, it was told to me that she was cut because the news ran with it, read this IG post, and they basically said she was released. So that must be the situation, right? Like, I don't see anything else. Yeah, it says on her IG that she was cut. You know, so much like this article says, if you look at keywords here, her IG account gives the impression that she's no longer signed with the UFC. So somebody goofed up by releasing some information that, you know, wasn't even out, as far as I know now, right? Because I was just getting information back to me saying, oh, she was cut. So I said, okay, let me let it marinate for about a day, like I usually do. I usually like to let this news, you know, sit for a day or two to find out the real deal. And it looks like she's still with the UFC. So in a little paragraph that she wrote on her post, in no way does it sound like she was cut. You know, it just sounds like somebody who lost a fight. You know, they're a bit down, and, you know, they're going back to the drawing board to work, right? So it looks like she was never cut. So, hey, we can go with that. But going back to what I was saying originally, I do think that Sabina Mazo would be better off out of the UFC for right now. You know, like Angela Hill, she did her little stint out of the UFC. You know, it made her a better fighter somewhat. You know, she was able to go back to Invicta FC, become a champion. You know, Liana Jojo, she was recently cut. And, you know, she's going to kind of go back to square one, if you will, you know, to try to rebuild as a fighter. And like I was saying, you know, it's necessary for Sabina Mazo because, you know, she's only 24 years old. Only 24 years old. That's, you know, that's a good time to go back, rack up some more wins and, you know, some lower organizations like Invicta FC and LFA, you know, go back to her home and, you know, put everything together because there's a lot of work that she needs to do. Even like when she was in the UFC, there were some situations that she was always in. Even though she won, I was always like, she's got to step her game up as far as her work rate. Like she's kind of a third round fighter. You know, she'll fall behind. She'll let opponents lead the dance while, you know, she's waiting for that big knockout blow. You know, yeah, she had some head kick knockouts in the past, but not every fighter is going to be on the end of that. You know, some people thought Miranda Maverick would be, but you saw Miranda Maverick say, yo, I'm going for it. You know, I'm going for it. I know she's big, she's powerful, but I'm stronger, you know, and that's what she did, you know. So looking at these situations right now between, you know, I was looking at Miranda Maverick's situation and Mazo's situation. You know, Mazo is definitely the fighter that really needs to find herself as a fighter. You know, she has some strong points, but it's just building off of that. You know, bringing her Muay Thai full circle. You know, becoming a solid MMA striker. You know, not just a Muay Thai fighter, but a solid MMA striker, and really start to build off of her being a finisher. You know, you can't always be a one-hitter quitter. You got to sometimes break fighters down, and you got to stay gritty. You got to stay working. You know, so a lot of stuff that Sabina Mazo, you know, needs to do, I feel. You know, she just needs to really work on using her range better, you know, pumping her jab out, you know, becoming more of a body puncher, you know, work her knees to the body, just an all-around fighter that needs an arsenal to, you know, attack the body. This is just, you know, stuff I've been looking at over the past few years with Sabina Mazo. Like, I seen that promise in her, but and more and more she just didn't execute. It would just kind of go downhill from there. But yeah, man, looks like Sabina Mazo was still on the UFC roster. I think it was just a miscommunication. I mean, if somebody else can show me something, let me know in the comment section where they seen that Sabina Mazo was 100% cut, other than news articles that are basing it off her IG, you know, because I'm looking right now. One more time before I get up out of here, y'all. Look, Sabina Mazo in no way said on her IG that she was cut. It just looks like articles were based off the impression of her Instagram post, and that's not enough to go off of, right? So yeah, guys, let me know in the comment section what y'all think. Would you have liked to seen her cut, just to, you know, just so she could go back to the drawing board and work on herself as a fighter, or do you think her quote unquote getting this second chance, do you think it's going to awaken the lion in her, lioness in her? What do you guys think? Combo Breaker 99. I'm out. Subscribe. Peace.